And good evening, and welcome back to Ghost Freaking Talking. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have reached Ghost Freaking Talking here on the YouTubes live. We are live for, what is this? We're on day 4? Day 4 of the Conjuring house live. This thing is almost, we're at the halfway mark.
When's it end? Friday?
In Saturday. They said 7 days.
Okay.
7 days would have been a full week, right?
Yeah.
So I have to double check whether it's Friday or Saturday.
Okay.
That ends it. But
Okay.
I'm thinking it might be Saturday. So
Well,
we're
a few more days.
Either way, we're at a halfway point for the Conjuring house. So that's what we're talking about today. We're giving a little bit of a wrap up of what has happened in day 4 of the live Conjuring house, because we've actually had people request us keep doing these recaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
you know, I'm not one to be like I'm gonna disappoint you guys. So
Can't disappoint the fans.
can't disappoint the fans. So I appreciate all the new fans we've been picking up since the Conjuring Live has happened. I guess people like what we're doing here. And I really appreciate you hopping in again tonight. For my co-host is usually Trenton, but he is once again at his mom's house. But he'll be back here tomorrow night.
All right.
All right, so you get a reprieve.
So yeah.
Yeah. So Conjuring Live it's been crazy. There hasn't been, everybody's waiting for the whole, somebody getting pulled around or chairs being thrown or whatnot,
Like the big event.
They're waiting for that big event.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen like that.
No.
I've never been on an investigation where somebody's been, thrown or, I've been on ones where people have been scratched.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been on investigations where people have been scratched, and that's like the big event that happened.
Right.
I was telling you about the one where we were doing the grid layout, the laser grid,
Yes.
and you could see the shadow mist go across the grid and black out, the beams as it's walking across the hallway. Because I think they were using that yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
we saw the grid yesterday when they were in one of the rooms.
Yeah, and so I was explaining a little bit to you on that.
Yeah, I asked what it was. So.
Yeah. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is a podcast for all intents and purposes, but we are also on YouTube. So if you want to, please subscribe here on YouTube and hit that notification bell. So whenever new videos or whatever come up, you'll be the first one to know. But this is a podcast. So download us wherever you can get your podcast at. But if you do it at iTunes, make sure to leave a review. Give us a 69-star review and say, these guys are awesome. But we have one review so far out there on iTunes.
Awesome. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
it's a start.
Hey, it is a start.
Got to start somewhere.
So we got Savage Rob, we got Winter Bricker, we got Robert Ballou in the chat.
Hi, guys.
But like I said, it's been slow and steady. But like I said, this is an investigation, and people watch the TV shows. These TV shows film, probably like 3 days out of the week, and crunch everything down into maybe 20 minutes of actual stuff.
Right.
Because most of it's like the B-roll where they're talking about, the location, they're doing interviews and stuff like that, and then they give you like 20 minutes of actual investigation. That's the reason why it's only 20 minutes, because you have all this stuff that has to get crunched down, because it's not like it's happening all the fucking time.
Right, yeah. It's just downtime. I mean, I'm honestly surprised that there's this much activity already, you know, just in the couple days. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Just a few things that I've seen. And
yeah, they've had some very good spirit box sessions, because hands down, I am the huge fan of the spirit box. And I have to say, I'll get into this in a little bit, but Corey, the owner of the house, actually emailed me today.
That's awesome.
Which is, thank you very much, because I was actually worried that, because I heard him listening to our podcast, right?
Yes.
And I thought we had talked so much shit about them and how the things have been going that they would blacklist us from ever, possibly going out there and investigating the house. But they actually like us. And Jennifer was in the chat earlier today, and I apologize. I'm like, well, our thing here on this podcast is that we tell it as it is, right?
Right.
We're not going to sugarcoat shit. We're going to shoot right from the hip. Yeah, we use dirty language and sexual innuendos here or there. So we're not child friendly or nothing like that. But
keep it exciting, right?
Yeah, we tell it like it is. It's like if we were sitting at a restaurant or something, just chatting it up, at a bar or something, chatting it up. That's kind of like how this podcast goes. So if we see bullshit, we're gonna call you on bullshit. Like the Ouija boards the other night. And what was really cool is that Corey actually apologized about the whole Ouija board thing because, it
didn't go how he wanted it.
It didn't go how they wanted it. Yeah, exactly.
No, I get it. I'm sure they feel pressure to, like give people what they want, but it's
and you can definitely tell, when they were downstairs doing the EVP session that night. And the host was like, oh, yeah, everyone keeps talking about doing the Ouija board.
Right.
And then you could just see they're like, fuck, I don't want to do this Ouija board.
Right, but let's get it out because everyone's asking for it. Yeah.
And then they get up there and they're like, oh, it's Zozo, whatever, right?
Well, hey, it's fun, but yeah, no, there is really stuff going on in here, and it's really exciting to see. And it just makes you, it just opens up all these other questions, and you want to know all the answers to them.
Exactly. So for any kind of evidence that happened today, last night after we got done with our podcast, they actually was about 2:00 in the morning, their time, which would have been 1:00 our time. They actually went out and they did another small Ouija board, experiment where just Papa John.
Okay.
We call him Papa John in the chat and everything. John, he was there doing the Ouija board by himself, which, once again, I'm skeptical because he had that sucker moving all over that board just by himself. So, I'm skeptic. And I posted, because they posted the video in the private chat group on Facebook.
Okay.
And I'm like, I like John, but I'm skeptic. I'm
Questioning
questioning this. And this girl defended him hardcore. She's like, John has never faked anything ever in his life. I'm like,
I'm not saying,
I'm like, well, that's cool, but I'm just saying my own thing with this thing is,
I guess out of all the other tools that, I guess you have in your little bag to work with, probably the Ouija board isn't the best. There's other things out there that you probably prefer for, more evidence based.
Yeah. And if you guys hear, my fucking dog right now is wanting out. So
of course.
Do you want to let her out real quick?
I'm closer.
And then I'll talk about another thing that happened last night. Because while John was doing that Ouija board experiment, they did another spirit box session. And he was in the library for the spirit box session. And fuck, my dog. My dog sucks. I apologize. But what can we do? It's live podcasting. But he was in the library doing a spirit box session, and all of a sudden the REM pod that was on the table in the dining room was going off like crazy. So he gets up, goes out there, and sits at the table with the spirit box. Mm-hmm. And the spirit clearly talked to him.
Okay.
All right. And it called him a freaking faggot.
Yep, I heard that. It was clear as day. I think you said fucking faggot, but we listened to it again, and
he
sounds a little more like frickin' faggot.
Yeah. John goes, because he was listening at real time. He goes, "Did it just say fucking faggot?"
Yeah, and I mean, it definitely sounded like it. I mean, if you're just
but
wow.
if you listen to it again, it says frickin'. It goes, frickin' faggot.
Yeah, so they're smart asses.
Yeah, and it's not the first time that they've done a spirit box session or anything like that the spirits in that house have fucking dirty mouths. It's like they should be hosting
crazy.
Ghost Frickin' Talking with as dirty as they
fit right in.
Yeah, they'd fit right in here. So, yeah, I can't.
Wow.
Friggin' faggot.
That's pretty crazy.
But yeah, let's see what else was there. John was in bed, and I was trying to look for that video to show you of him in bed.
Oh yeah, you mentioned the sheet incident.
Yeah, his comforter was hanging off the end of the bed, and you could see where he's not moving in the bed at all. But at the very bottom, towards where like the bottom of the bed is, to where you're almost underneath the bed.
Yeah.
You could see the comforter like shift to the side and back, like somebody was like moving it over to the side to look under the bed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was very cool, and I've watched it probably like 50 times, looking to see if John's foot or his leg
Try to
moved.
debunk it.
Yeah, I tried debunking it and I couldn't, and it was weird because if his foot moved, the entire thing would have moved, but it was just like the very end of the
bottom
comforter.
part?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it was like a static movement. It was like shoot, like that.
Huh.
It was really weird. So I gotta dig it up and let you see it, because I tried looking for it on the Facebook group. But,
I wonder if he noticed anything or if he was just completely asleep.
Yes, he was completely
Completely asleep. Okay.
Because John is a snoring. Oh whoa, he's yeah. Because I was watching it probably about 3 o'clock in the morning yesterday.
Okay.
And I logged in, and I'm like flipping through cameras, and all you hear is John snoring. His ass was
It's a hard day's work, hunting ghosts in this house.
Oh, definitely.
Gotta get some rest.
So my thinking is John just so hardcore he wants to sleep in the spooky house part, or is the rest of the group like, John, you need to get the fuck away from us so we can sleep?
Oh yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could be. If keeping them up.
Albert Draper says, good evening. Why, thank you very much for coming in and checking out Ghost Freaking Talking tonight. They had interviews lined up today. Kind of, my thought were lackluster interviews to me.
Okay.
They had a lady on there talking about shadow people and stuff like that.
Well, there have been a couple shadow people incidents that I have seen in the house, so I guess that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, but
no,
I don't know. I don't know. The lady just come off weird to me, but
okay.
That's just my thinking.
Yeah.
But we're all talking paranormal stuff, so Albert Draper says, do you guys have any experiences with
OBEs?
OBs? I don't understand what you're talking about. Are you talking about OBS? Like the system OBS? Because that's what we're running the video on. So let me know if that's what you're talking about, or if you're talking about orbs. I don't know. Clarify that for us, Albert.
Please do.
But for the other interview, I'm trying to think. That's how
wasn't the father
uninspired? Oh well, that one I was saving that one.
Okay,
because that was very because they talked to the father of the Perrin family.
Okay.
Robert Perrin, and then he it was very. You could definitely tell, like, when people have been through shit and they've experienced stuff, and you could just see the look on his face when he's talking about the experiences that they had there.
Wow.
And it's kind of like one of those things where I almost got emotional because of how emotional he looked like he was getting.
Wow.
Because Andrea was there. That's the older daughter. She was there with him. And she's like, well, I want Dad to tell this story that he's never told before on, when he finally broke down and was like, there's something going on here.
When he finally admitted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could definitely tell it like clicked in his head that, was because she's like, well, I didn't even prep him for this interview or something like that. Mm-hmm. So he had no idea what they were going to talk about during this interview.
Oh, okay.
And you could just see it on his face. He was like, fuck,
He got caught off guard.
Yeah, he got caught off guard. And just the kind of look on his face was kind of like, cross between I can't believe she fucking did this, and you know, this was a very big experience, and you know, he just, you know, went with it and was like, you know, there was that time and experience that he realized shit was happening to his wife, and you know, admitted to his wife that yeah, you know, that there's shit going on.
Wow. Yeah, that's got to be hard to wrap your head around, you know.
Yeah. Albert clarified, and he goes, out of body experiences. I can't ever say I've ever had an out of body experience.
Nope, can't say I have either. So I don't have really an experience with them personally.
No.
I don't really know anybody who has.
No. Never done any bad drugs in your time to where it's like, whoa, out of body
No
experience.
bad trips?
No bad trips. No, I've never had out of body experiences. I've had like the sleep paralysis once or twice.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah.
Where, you know, you actually see the shadow people and whatnot. But holy cow, what is going on here? All right, so okay. Put it that way. Okay. Well, you just spammed me with it. Oh, that was trippy.
Maybe he's on drugs.
Yeah, maybe he's on drugs in the chat, but I got rid of that. No drugs. But yeah, I've had the sleep paralysis stuff. I've never seen, because usually in sleep paralysis you see like the bloody bones man, or you know, the shadow man coming after you, or what they call the old hag.
Okay. Yeah, I can't say I've heard of the old hag, but
yeah, the old hag is kind of like a witch-looking character that's going to, you know, that's coming after you, kind of like the bloody bones man. Because the bloody bones man is that they describe him, you know, as being, you know, like in a suit, but his hands are the bony with the like blood dripping from him, kind of like skin hanging from him. He's got the top hat and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I can't say I've heard of that.
Yeah, that seems to be the common thing with these the sleep paralysis stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I guess I really never heard that. You know, I just wow. I guess I didn't realize that there was like, you know, that associated with sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
With some people.
Yeah. There's a documentary. I haven't watched it yet. I think it's on YouTube, not YouTube, but Netflix.
Okay.
About sleep paralysis.
Huh.
So I need to go on and
interesting.
You know, watch that. So because like I said, I've had it happen a couple times, but I never had the experiences that other people would have. But if you want to grab the dog real quick, the dog wants in now. Otherwise, she'll be sitting there clawing at the door the entire time. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, that is live podcasting for you. Like I said, we are coming at you live every night for the entire duration now for the live Conjuring house. Where we're just going to kind of recap some stuff and talk about stuff. And I know we veered off a little bit with the sleep paralysis stuff. But you know, that's what happens here. You know, we just kind of we go off and on a tangent on something else, and I try to put the ship back on course once in a while. What we were talking about? We were talking about the sleep paralysis, the documentary. I forgot how we got it. Oh, we got the question about outer body experiences.
Yeah.
And then let's see, what else were we going to talk about here? Man. Totally lost my entire train of thought. That's what I was going to say. You know how I threw out that number of 8.5 million people going and watching the stream?
Oh, yeah. Yesterday you had mentioned that because I asked how many people.
Yeah.
You know,
that wasn't
watching.
No, that wasn't for the people that have watched the stream legally.
Right. I know you mentioned that some people were streaming this on their Facebook and their YouTube, and they had like thousands of viewers.
Yeah, no. That number, that 8.5 million, was for the illegal watching
shit.
Of the stream.
Wow.
Yeah.
So those are all the cheapskates.
Yeah, all those cheap asses out there by the millions.
Right.
And millions of cheapskates out
Like,
there.
really? I mean, you can't drop $20 if you're really that curious.
Yeah.
Or however much it was. It was what, under $20,
Yeah.
right?
Well, if you got it, early on, it was.
I know
15.
there was like a deal for
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
early.
So I got on it early.
tickets, but-
I got it for 15, but otherwise it was like $10 a day or $20 for the entire week, and a good portion of it goes towards like COVID stuff.
Well, yeah.
And
Yeah,
so come on,
for a
people.
good cause, like, come on.
Yeah, and you would see like the people that are posting it, and it's all like foreign countries they're doing it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not gonna.
Where they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Apparently.
Yeah, they don't have to live by the rules of modern
just-
civilization sometimes. But.
Of just being a, like a decent human being.
Yeah. So, but 8.5 million people are illegally watching it,
Right.
and you
That's a lot of people.
you lob off one head, two more grow. So it's you can't stop it.
Yeah, no, you can't.
But still in the chats out there, people are still complaining. But I haven't seen as much complaining as I did before.
I'm thinking maybe there won't be as many trolls maybe later on. I don't know.
Oh,
I
no,
mean,
no.
It's just crazy to me that there's so many freaking trolls in the chat that like paid
Yeah, exactly.
to get in there. You guys are doing nothing but bitching.
I know, right? I don't know how you can't just sit back and just enjoy it. This is a first time that anything has, been done like this.
Yeah, you guys are, lucky enough to see like some legit shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the shadow figures and the stuff falling with no like explanation. We've seen some orbs.
Yeah, well, like I was
telling
the Heinzens earlier, in the chat and the email or whatever, I'm like, you guys are actually breaking ground here on something that can happen elsewhere. Maybe it'll give the idea for the maybe somebody could set up some at Waverly Hills, or someone can set up something at the Axe House.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, exactly. This could be opening up doors. Yeah, there's a lot of technical difficulties, but you guys are the first ones doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think there was too much prep ahead of time.
I'd say they were doing a pretty damn good job, even with the few technical glitches I've heard of.
Oh yeah, definitely. You lose a camera here or there, but who's to say that spirits aren't jacking with some of the stuff?
That's true.
Because it's really weird, because most of the time that the audio glitches and stuff happen is when they start talking about the parents, usually. If you go back and rewatch some of the interviews, once they start talking about the parents, that's when audio will be lost and feeds get lost. So is there a tie between what the spirits are doing, or is it just technology just is failing right now?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Because then you also gotta still think everybody's still working from home, everybody's sucking the internet dry, right?
Yes.
So you've got to kind of factor in that as well.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing a great job. If you guys have listened to this podcast from here, I know this one sounds a little rough. We had dog issues and forgetfulness and whatnot, but you guys are doing a good job. You guys should be proud of yourself. I do know that it seems like every once in a while it sounds like a little bit of infighting or whatnot, but when you're stuck in a house with people.
Yeah, and then you got like however many thousands of people bitching at you about shit in the chat. Yeah, I'm sure that can probably get a little annoying.
Yeah, and
dude, we're trying our best. Like, get off our back. Just sit back and enjoy.
Yeah,
if you see something cool, if not, then you should have expected that to begin with.
Exactly. But I do have to say that the family has a lot of heart. They're putting a lot of heart into this project, and you can tell it gets them down when people are being so negative. Jennifer was in the chat earlier, and she goes, "Yeah, it gets kind of rough sometimes how people are so down on us."
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I'm like, well, don't fucking listen to them. I'm like, I've been doing this YouTube thing for over 5 years now. You're going to have people saying you're doing a bad job.
Of course.
But those people are the minor percentage. That you're probably looking at 2%, 5%.
You're not going to please everybody in the world.
No, you're not going to please everyone. But you guys are doing a great job. And like I said, it's groundbreaking. Definitely opening up doors for other possibilities of other places, or possibly doing this again another time with better equipment, better technology. Take what you had and experience this time around and clean it up and be prepared for another time. Maybe do like a Halloween weekend or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking Halloween, but yeah, you have to start somewhere, and and that's how you learn to do things better the next time. Is what worked and what didn't the first time.
Yeah, and I've seen it a few times where people have actually talked about how they feel like they're part of the family now in the chat.
Yeah,
they're like we've been hanging out with you guys for 4 nights now, 4 days, and everyone's like, well, yeah, we know the sounds of the house now. We know what everybody's doing. Their attitudes and how they are, and you just feel like you're part of the family now, and it's definitely to where I can't look away. I'm doing my fucking job and,
with this going on in the back.
I'm keeping an eye on what's going on here.
I don't want to miss anything.
I don't want to miss the fucking broom falling again.
Yeah, no,
with the football.
I get it.
So.
No, it's exciting.
It's definitely really exciting, and like I said, don't get disheartened, guys. And like I said, I really appreciate you guys reached out to the podcast, and you guys are putting up with our shit. Because there's a lot of people that could have taken what we've said to heart and been like, these people are assholes, right?
Well, hey, they're on the same wavelength, with a sense of humor, and yeah.
Oh, definitely. And just watching their investigations and stuff like that, they're dropping F-bombs and stuff like everyday people would. We definitely have to get some ashless chaps out to them, because every time they do like an audio test, he's like, the pastor wears assless chaps. So I was like,
oh, that's what that was about. I was wondering why they were talking about assless chaps in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. So they're talking about assless chaps, and so somebody's going to end up sending them assless chaps.
I'm sure he'll probably get some.
And for the love of God, do not post any don't post any pictures of your assless chaps. That's something we don't want to see. And luckily enough, there hasn't been that kind of slip on these cameras, right? Because every once in a while you'll hear them like talking about something, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're not supposed to talk about that."
Yeah, we're on camera. Yeah. Forgot there's cameras in every single room here.
Yeah, kind of like when I was like overhearing where they're like, they started talking about Zach Baggins was possibly in the chat tonight.
Oh, okay.
But you have all these trolls out there using different names, right?
Anybody could be Zach.
Yeah, anybody could be Zach.
Yeah.
But they're like, well, look at some of the comments that he's making. He's making comments of stuff that Zach would have only known because, they were there. They investigated the place.
Oh, he did.
So maybe they have some inner knowledge that he would have known. That some random ass troll wouldn't have known.
That no one would know.
So, but you have all these trolls out there, Carroll Baskin, and fucking all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. They had a interview with a, my all-time favorite, a medium, or a psychic type person.
Okay. And that was today.
That was today, and people know if they've listened to the podcast long enough that I'm not a true believer in mediums, but my mind was changed a bit when I went and got my first reading at our buddies here in Rockford, Wolf Hollow, because they had a medium there, and we went there, and he just fucking hit on everything.
Yeah, you had mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, once they start hitting more details and not so much vague, things that can be applied to a lot of people's lives.
Yeah. But this medium had dowsing rods. If you don't know what dowsing rods are, They're two metal bars. They're kind of like an L shape, and you hold them in your hand, and they're supposed to sway.
Yep.
Like
I've
either
seen 'em before.
either crossing for yes or apart for no.
Yeah, I've seen people use them to like hunt for water and stuff like underground.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
they
I
could be
think that's
used
originally what they're originally made
Okay.
for, right? Or it was to find water.
Yeah.
But supposedly
possibly.
spirits can manipulate these bars, and once again, it's all human interaction. They're in your hands. So who's to say that you aren't trying to, manipulate it?
Yeah, that's a little more hard to prove.
Because a few podcasts ago, me and Trent talked about, we were watching some evidence of here in Rockford at the Tinker Swiss Cottage. They had a lady using dowsing rods, and they posted a video of it, and you could see her forearm flexing when she's moving the bar.
Oh.
So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it makes you question
Yeah.
future experiences.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not a big believer in dowsing rods, and they're like, did Carroll Baskin really kill her husband? And I don't know if you know this whole story with the Carroll Baskin thing.
I don't know.
Where it's the whole Tiger King documentary that was on Netflix.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And
I haven't watched it.
Carroll Baskin's husband all of a sudden just disappeared one day.
Okay.
So it's highly thought that she killed her husband and fed him to the tigers because his body's never been found or anything. So the question was, did Carroll Baskin
Gotcha.
kill her husband? And then the question was like, yes, she did. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
shit. I'm like, all right, good night, Irene.
Why are you guys asking about that shit when you're like in this like
Yeah. Well, I think that
haunted house?
it was towards the end of the questioning, and they're kind of like
Just
trying to
being
kill
silly.
some time.
Yeah.
So they ran out of questions. Like, well, yeah, did she do that? It's like, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done with the whole Carroll Baskins.
Hey, yeah, you never know.
Winter Bricker says, how could you miss all that? And Doc Sampson's in the chat. Welcome, Doc. What's up,
Welcome.
Doc?
Yeah, what's up, Doc?
Yeah, but that's about it for day 4. They did the cool Estes experiment. Estes Experiment is where somebody is listening to the spirit box with headphones on and a blindfold to kind of shut yourself off. And while somebody's in another room asking questions to see if the spirit box will answer those questions of the person in the other room.
Okay.
And then their spirit box came across pretty good with some answers throughout. I still am frustrated with the slow sweep of their spirit box. And I'm just gonna give you guys a little taste of my spirit box, because theirs is so slow that all you hear is radio stations that come across, right? All right, so I'm gonna turn on my spirit box. I have the SB11. For those watching on YouTube, you guys can see this is SB11, and it's got 2 radios that you can sweep one way and then another. So I go forward on one and I go there, and as you guys can hear, I'm going to turn this volume up. I like the faster sweep rate because all you get is white noise. And we were testing it out here a little while ago to see it,
Yeah.
and we got an actual voice that came across that said Lucas. What is it, Lucas?
Is it Luke?
Or Luke. Mm-hmm. And then, see, the spirit box said, yep.
It's crazy.
Is Luke here? Do you want to say hi to everyone on the internet? See, I like the faster sweep rate because you get something's coming through, but Holly? Yeah, well, I hate to break it to you, Holly is no longer in this house. For those that don't know, my ex-wife, her name is Holly, that used to live in this house. So that's weird that they would say her name.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
What do you want me to? You have something to say to her? I can pass a message on for you.
Leave a message at the beep. But no, I guess I like that a little better. It's like easier to hear when stuff does come across, as opposed to what they're using, because you do hear more like vocals from the FM stations that they're using. So, but you know, it's all personal preference, and you guys can discuss sweep rates.
yeah. So basically, on his email, he goes, "P.S." He goes, "My sweep rate is just fine." He goes, "It's yours that's fucking shit."
Yours is broken. Or whatever.
Yeah. So, you know, everyone has their own preferences. You know, some guys like redheads with big boobs, and some guys like nerdy blondes with the tattoos. So, so it's just everybody's preference, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys want to go and enjoy the last half of the Conjuring house, you can still go and buy a pass, because there's 3 days left. It's well worth it. Even $20 from here on out is well worth it. Getting those last 3 days of getting the experience of being a ghost hunter, being able to watch these cameras, you know, full spectrums. You got night vision cameras, and all the knowledge that they're pumping to you with all these interviews is just pretty good.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Like I said, it's been well worth it. You guys are doing a hell of a job. I'm not just saying that because you guys actually listen to us and like us. But you guys are doing a good job. And like I said, I will call you guys out on your bullshit if it comes down to it. You guys are doing awesome. I want to hear some more spirit box going on in there, and Jennifer, actually, because I was asking about the Ovilus, because I'm a big fan of the Ovilus.
Oh yeah, he mentioned that last night.
Because I've had some really freaky shit happen with the Ovilus.
Yeah.
And she said that they had one, but it broke, so they don't have an Ovilus there to work.
Gotcha.
And I'm really hoping that they get the SLS going.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that. That one's like my favorite tool.
You know, if I had $1,500 extra right now, I would still be buying an SLS.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, I definitely like the SLS cameras.
Because I have the Kinect sensor, and I have schematics to modify it to be an SLS camera.
Oh, okay.
Because the guy that designed the SLS is what was his name? He works for Ghost Adventures, and I wrote to him. I'm like, you know, I have the equipment to make the SLS. I'm like, how do you do it? And he sent me the schematics for it. I was like,
cool.
I'm not a fucking technician,
right,
man.
but now what do I do with this shit?
What the fuck am I supposed to do? He's like, cross this wire with this wire, and you know, A and Z and double D. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Like, I'll just go buy one.
Yeah, exactly. So. So I'm like, well, I'll just go and drop the $1,500 and get one made.
Save your pennies.
Yes, so that's my next big investment is in an SLS camera.
Awesome.
So
that's exciting.
All right, guys. So that is the wrap up for day 4. This is a little bit longer show than usual. So I apologize if we bored anyone along the way, but thank you guys for listening. If you guys can. We do have a merch shop in the links below. Order yourself a Ghost Frickin' Talkin' t-shirt. We got dog bandanas. We got coffee cups when they're in stock.
Yeah, I think they're out of stock still.
We have some awesome-ass hoodies, and it's like any color in the world you want.
Yeah, the hoodies are definitely awesome, and you know, like I said before, I was really impressed with the color selection. So.
Yeah. So you don't have to get the drab, boring, you know.
Yep, the goth black,
the emo black. Yeah. You can be fun and fancy.
Yeah, I got the bright pink. So
in your bright pink, you know, Ghost Frickin' Talkin' gear. So go out and get yourself some of that awesome stuff. And also, if you guys are watching here on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So when new videos come out, you'll be the first one to know. And if you have scary stories to tell, where can they contact us at?
They can send an email to ghostft@yahoo.com.
Ghostft@yahoo.com. That is our email. You know how many people are like, you guys still fucking use Yahoo?
Hey, who cares?
Yeah,
it's
right?
an email address.
Yeah, it's a fucking email address. They're like, well, Gmail is where it's at. I'm like, son of a bitch, we have ghostft@yahoo.com. We still fucking use Yahoo, okay?
Send your email to bitch at us.
Yeah. Send your email to bitch at us, and we will read it here on the program and make fun of your ass along the way. All right. So, thank you, Vanessa, for sitting in for the last 3 days.
Yeah,
And,
thanks for having me.
like I said, we'll have Trent at least for the next 2 nights. I don't know, maybe possibly Friday.
All right.
I don't know. We'll
will see.
We will see if we can get you back on here. All right. So, as always,
Everybody has a story to tell.
yes, they do. And tell them at
GhostFT@yahoo.com.
yes, yahoo.com, GhostFT. All right, guys. And as always, stay spooky. Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.